Hey guys, it's Caitlin. Welcome back to my video. And welcome back to my channel. So this video is part 2 of the series. This is about my meeting the boys experience. I'm not going to go into too much detail about how the venue and stuff was set up. All you really need to know is that we were in a parking lot for half of it, a barricade for half of it. They didn't take any of the information that they said you needed to bring with you. The venue people didn't even know that the meet and greet was happening until an hour before it was supposed to happen. So everything was kind of a mess, but once they got everything sorted out, they divided us from VIP 1, VIP 2, and Limelight. I was VIP 2, which meant that I had me and another person in a picture. VIP 1 is just you and the boys in a picture, and Limelight is you in the picture with the boys, and you get to hang out with them before. So basically, before I got to the parking lot portion of the waiting time, we were kind of next to the stage, so Evan was up on the stage setting up, and nobody really noticed him up there. I don't know if they were like, I don't know. But he looked up and he kind of, like, I yelled to him. I was like, "Hi, Evan," and he like waved to me and I waved back because, you know, obviously you have to wave to them. It's a thing. So he was super sweet to me from a very far distance. But the people behind me were like, "That's not Evan," like, and then like 5 seconds later they all started screaming because they saw Evan. Like, honey, I saw him. Okay. Okay, so what is Evan? Oh my god, my heart is like... So, moving on, when we got to the parking lot of the waiting portion, it was very sketchily set up, if sketchily is a word. So basically, I saw the boys coming off of the tour bus. They were going to meet Limelight in the meet and greet portion. So they ran through the parking lot and I was freaking out because it was the very first time I had ever seen them, ever, in person. And they were all so tiny, but they were like waving, they were smiling, and I was freaking out. Here's a video of me moments after it happened.
That's just the rain.
As you can see, I was basically in tears. I was trying to calm myself down because I knew I did not want to cry when I met them. I did not want that to happen. I didn't want that to be like what they remembered of me. So after that, we moved up a little bit farther in the parking lot, and it was after Limelight had finished their meet and greet portion. So somebody started coming out and walking around the building, and I couldn't really tell who it was. Nobody had noticed. He got like halfway through before I saw his bandana and I was like, "Corbin!" And he looked up and he smiled and I waved and he waved back to me. Like, that happened, and then all of a sudden all the girls went crazy like, "Corbin!" and started screaming, and I was like, oh my god. I obviously didn't get that part on video because I didn't know it was him, but I did get the rest of the boys coming out of the building and going around on video, so I'll put those in. We went into the building. There was a table set up in the middle of a room, and there's a guy sitting there with a laptop that would check you in so that you could get your wristbands. While I was waiting in line, I was pretty close to the front, but Zack, their photographer, came up and he was like talking to the security guard about where to go because they still didn't know where to set up. Peace out, yo. So anyways, I saw Zack and I took a video of him because other girls were taking pictures of him in front of it. It's literally the cutest video, just watch. So that was really cute. But after that, I got my wristband and stuff. We went outside of the building. So parking lot, you go into the building, get your wristband, go back outside. It's like an outside hallway, I guess. There was a big fence and then the building, so you were in between the two but still outside. Basically, as you continue down the line, there was barricades setting you up in like an S formation until you got to the tent where the pictures were being taken. So we stood in line for a long time. It was kind of raining like the whole time. But when we got to the last outside S, you could see inside of the tent, but you could only really see like Zack taking the pictures and Tyler, who was really happy when I was over there. Like he was smiling and he was happily counting, whatever. And he like looked up at me and he was kind of staring at me for a second, and then I was like, hi, and then he like smiled and he waved back, so that was really cool. But after, when I went around, basically the tent is set up here and you go along the side of the tent before you go in for your meet and greet. So I was on the outside corner towards the back of the tent, and you could hear Tyler being like 1, 2, 3, or like hurry up or next. Like he did that. He got very angry and sassy, and I didn't want that for when my picture was being taken, but it happened, sadly. So as we were moving up in the line, we were kind of just standing there. I was more towards the back of the tent. Let me draw this out for you guys. So picture me standing there, okay? My foot is in a normal foot position. All of a sudden I feel this tug on my shoelace, and I look down and there is a hand, a literal hand underneath the tent. And then they went back, and as soon as they got their hand back in, Zack started counting. He's like, 3, 2, like moments before he took the picture, he was pulling on my shoelace, and I was like, oh my god, what just happened? Like, I was so confused. The tent was very flimsy. It was kind of just like, you know, fabric going down. And so the boys were like pushing on the fabric and we were like pushing back, but I did not start it. A lot of girls were like doing it during pictures, and I was like, no, stop, like don't ruin someone else's experience, that's horrible. When we got to the meet and greet portion, I put my phone in my back pocket to record like my back view, I guess, and we gave Maggie's phone to the security guard to record what was happening. I'll let you guys watch and then I'll explain.
No, you're Jack. Wow. Zack, hug me. Hi, Jonah. You're welcome. Really tall. Oh my god. Hold on, Mike.
All right, guys, here we go. Ready? Double knotted. Ladies, go, go, go. 1, 2, 3. Horrible. Oh my god. Next time, don't double knot. Next group. Come here, guys. Gotta go. All right, next group. Here we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about my portion, even though you can hear Maggie in it a little bit. But basically, I went all the way across to where Daniel was so that she could start on Jack's side. So basically, I went up to Daniel, and you can hear him say it. He's like, oh, hi, or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
So then, when I went into the hug, I, like, wrapped my arms around him, but then he took his hands like this, like, and he squeezed me, not like a regular hug, like, he, like, gave me the Heimlich, and I don't know if I made a sound or if I, like, I think I pulled back, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, and then he felt bad because he thought he hurt me, and then I was like, no, I'm sorry.
Hug me. Oh yeah.
I was actually like, no, it's okay, like, I wasn't expecting that. That's what I said to him, because I didn't want him to feel bad, because I just wasn't expecting it, because he was so bony. He was so little. Hey guys, so it's been almost a month since the concert, and while editing this video, I realized that I predicted how bony Daniel is. I met the boys on August 7th, 2018, and on July 12th, 2018, I had a dream. The whole dream has nothing to do with how bony he is, but one thing that was very vivid to me was how bony he was. This is how I described it. Okay, that's it. Continue with the video. So after Daniel, I went over to Corbin, and as I'm like going up to him, he's like, hey, I like your red shirt. And in the video, you can see I'm clearly wearing a blue shirt. I don't know what that was about. I don't understand, but I was like, thanks. And then I hugged him.
Nice red shirt.
Hi, Jonah. You're really tall. Oh my god.
And I took a step back so that I was like facing Daniel and Corbin, because it was one of them who pulled on my shoelace. So I was like, which one of you pulled on my shoelace? And Daniel was like, what? Like, he didn't know what was going on, and Corbin just kind of goes, and like backs away. You can't really see it because Maggie stepped in front of him right when he did this, sadly, but you can kind of get the picture.
Alright guys, picture time, ready? You had it double knotted. Lady.
No. What are you looking at? Myself? And then Tyler's like, okay ladies, picture time, like rushing us, whatever. And I had only hugged 2 of them at this point, and I was kind of freaking out. But I knew for the picture I wanted to hug Jonah, and we were supposed to do like a big group hug, but they were rushing us so much that I didn't even have time to be like, hey, can we do a group hug? Like, I didn't have any time. So basically then, I wrapped myself around Jonah, and I barely remember it.
1, 2, 3!
But after the picture was taken, he kissed me on my head, and then I like pulled away, and he like looked at me, and he was like, I love you, and I'm like, I love you too. Like, I was very nervous about it all. It was just, wow, okay. So then after that, I went to Zack, and he's like, hi, and then he hugged me. Like, he was very dry, and later after the meet and greet, while looking back on the videos, I realized that I low-key rejected Zack.
1, 2, 3!
And I feel like that's why he was so dry towards me. Whoops. So after Zack, I went to Jack, but he was already hugging the next girl in line, and I was like, Jack, because I was like, I need a hug from you before I go. So he like finished hugging her, and he turns towards me, he goes, oh my god, I'm sorry, and then you can hear him say it in the video, he's like, I love you, and I'm like,
Horrible! Oh my god. Next time, don't double the next group. Next guys, gotta go. Alright, next group, in. Here we go.
He went over my shoulder, and like, it was a good hug, and it felt really, you know, nice. Love Jack. He was so sweet. Also, he is so much tinier than he looks. He is little. Like, short and skinny. It was crazy. Yeah, that was the time I met the boys. It was kind of crazy, really surreal, but it was amazing, and I really want to like spend time with them instead of being rushed like during a picture. So I'm hoping next tour I get limelight. I'm praying. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. Be ready for part 3 that will be coming out next. That is the concert portion, which is really exciting and really fun. I really enjoyed the concert. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Every time I do it, it's like so weird. It's like
yeah. Can I put my